All right, hello everybody. Welcome to today's webinar, Fresh Finds, getting in those fruits and veggies every day. I have Coach Steph with me here today. Before we get started, just a couple of the normal items to take care of. We will have some time for questions at the end of the presentation, and you can type those into the question box in the lower portion of your control panel. We will be posting a recording of the webinar on our blog, but if you would like a copy of the presentation in PDF format, or if your question does not get answered today, please email our support inbox, which will be shown at the end of the webinar today. All right, I'll hand it over to Coach Steph to get started.
Thank you, Coach Shelby, and thank you to all who have tuned in for today's webinar. Welcome. As Coach Shelby mentioned, I am Coach Steph, and our topic today is Fresh Finds, incorporating fruits and vegetables. Now, we're all aware that we need fruits and vegetables, but can we all say that we are getting the right amount each and every day? And if we are we enjoying them? So let's get started. Today's agenda is as follows. First off, we are going to discuss the USDA's daily recommendations for fruit and vegetable intake. We'll then discuss their importance, where to get them, and how to prepare them. There are two different ways in which we can measure or view our daily intake. One USDA recommendation is to fill half of your plate or bowl with fruits and vegetables. This also applies to snacking. This is a simple and quick visual that requires little to no measuring. The second is based off of a 2,000 calorie diet and recommends 3 cups of vegetables and 2 cups of fruit daily. Furthermore, USDA recommends 1.5 cups of dark green vegetables. Kale and spinach are great options. 5.5 cups of red and orange vegetables. Carrots, peppers, tomatoes, you name it. 1.5 cups of legumes, such as peas and beans. 5 cups of starchy vegetables, such as squash and parsnips. And 4 cups of other vegetables. So have fun with this other category and explore vegetables you may have yet to try, such as daikon, which is a mild flavored winter radish, or watercress, which is a mineral-rich leafy green, a relative to cabbage. But even with these recommendations and all the variety, most Americans are consuming less than half the recommendations. I do want to note these recommendations may vary for diabetics and those with GI disorders, so please consult your primary care physician if dietary restrictions apply to you. So why do these recommendations matter? The importance of fruits and vegetables. Where do I even begin? These benefits really are endless. For starters, fruits and vegetables provide us with needed nutrients like fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Minerals like folate, magnesium, potassium, and vitamins A, C, and K are abundant in produce. But it is important to recognize that no single piece of fruit or single serving of vegetables provides us with all of our needed nutrients. And this is why variety becomes just as important as quantity. So have fun with it and incorporate many different colors and textures into your diet. For example, our red, blue, and purple produce contain antioxidants like lycopene, which helps to limit cell damage caused by free radicals. Less free radicals are associated with incredible health benefits, a lower risk of cancer, heart disease, stroke, and even memory loss. So give berries and beets a chance. Orange and yellow produce contain beta-carotene, another powerful antioxidant. Beta-carotene is converted into vitamin A in the body, and it helps to improve immune function, promote healthy skin and vision. Better add peaches, peppers, and pumpkins to the diet too. And white fruits and vegetables like cauliflower, onions, pears, and apples are high in dietary fiber and can help to maintain healthy cholesterol levels. And green produce gets its color from chlorophyll, and many contain vitamins C and E, which are great for strong bones and oral health. So try out artichokes, arugula, and asparagus. I could really go on and on about the importance of each fruit and vegetable, but you get the gist. From a healthy heart to a happy gut to glowing skin, fruits and vegetables provide our bodies with the nutrients we require to live our best. So now we know how many servings of fruits and vegetables we need and why we need them. So now, where to get them? For many months out of the year, and I'm talking about those colder months, many of us will get most, if not all, of our produce from the grocery store. In this case, opt for fresh or frozen. Fresh and frozen ensures the best opportunity for nutrient intake. Consume dried products sparingly, as sugar content is high in this form. Also consume juices sparingly. It is always best to eat our calories as opposed to drinking them. Choose whole foods, and if an option, choose seasonal, local, and organic. Again, this ensures your best opportunity for nutrient intake. But with the weather warming, our access to fruits and vegetables expands beyond the grocery store aisles. So why not take advantage of it? But how? Growing your own fruits and vegetables and herbs may actually be easier and far more cost-effective than you might have thought. Start out slow and begin by brainstorming what works best for your space, your time, and your palate. It is critical to form a connection to the foods we are choosing to nurture our bodies with, appreciating not just the taste, but the sight, the smell, and the feel is such an important relationship to cultivate. This connection is greater than food to mouth. We have the capability to create a positive or negative impact on our community and our environment with how and what we choose to eat. So let's get started, and most importantly, let's get our hands dirty. I'm going to highlight a few different gardening methods, but trust me, these methods are just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many fun, creative, and resourceful gardening techniques out there. So if I don't cover one that works just for you, hit the internet or library, because I promise you your perfect garden is out there. So the first method we're going to discuss is in-ground gardening or standard gardening. And like the name denotes, in-ground gardening can be one of the easiest and most effective ways to get started, thus the reason for its popularity. Simply choose a spot, tear up the sod, and begin tilling the soil, working in your compost. Cons: good soil can be hard to come by depending on what part of the country you live in, and soil maintenance and weeding can become an issue throughout the season. But again, it is an extremely effective way to get started so long as you have the space. So have fun with it and grow vegetables like kale, melon, squash, and cucumber, all of which are pretty hardy and really fun to watch grow as well as harvest. The next method is raised beds. Raised beds can be built up with many different materials such as wood, bricks, cinder blocks, corrugated steel panels, or old tractor tires. Get creative with what you may already have available. Once you've chosen your materials, construct to your preferred size. Choose a level space to ensure that irrigation and drainage is evenly dispersed. Position your beds and anchor the corners. Once the beds are in place, add your planting soil and compost clear to the top. Raised beds allow for easier soil management and protection, improved drainage, and they also bring plants closer to you, which can alleviate strain on your back when planting, weeding, and harvesting. And many like the aesthetic they provide. Cons: there is more of an upfront cost with materials and construction. And excessive heat and increased drainage can pose greater stress to your plants, especially if you're in a warmer or drier climate. But you never know until you give it a try. And like I said earlier, raised beds provide great protection for your plants, so try out delicate greens like arugula and spinach. In-ground plants like carrots and onions also grow really well in beds. So our next method is container gardening. And container gardening is a great method that requires much less space. We're now talking square inches as opposed to square feet. From patios to balconies to porches to decks, container gardening becomes realistic for so many of us. Growing in pots simply requires a pot that allows for drainage, planting soil, and your compost. Cons: container pots do require consistent watering as the soil dries faster. Pots can become costly and potentially limit the growth of your plant. But again, this method is realistic and convenient for so many of us. So it's really a great starting point for beginning gardeners. And plants like beans, peppers, and tomatoes grow great in these conditions. Hanging baskets are another really effective use of space. While hanging baskets are commonly reserved for flowers, adding fruits, vegetables, and herbs can be just as easy. The materials, pros and cons, are very similar to that of container gardening. You are a bit limited with what you can grow, but I know you can all get creative, right? So try cherry tomatoes, strawberries, or herbs like parsley and thyme. So now let's bring the garden indoors. For starters, you will need to ensure that you have a windowsill or table that will shed a good amount of direct sunlight. We're talking about 6 hours worth. Indoor plants do best with a temperature between 70 and 75 degrees. From there, ensure you have, yet again, pots and trays that allow for drainage along with your potting soil. While you will need to keep a close eye on soil and water levels, this method is low maintenance as weeding is virtually non-existent and harvesting occurs right in the comfort of your own home. So have fun with this method and try out chilies and herbs such as sage and rosemary, as well as microgreens. Now, microgreens are a fun addition to any meal. They are the shoots of vegetables such as beetroot or mustard greens, and they're picked soon after the first leaves develop. They're incredibly nutritious and can be added atop salads, soup, sandwiches, you name it. So now this last method takes us back outside, but trust me, it's a cool one, and who doesn't like potatoes? So our final gardening method is potato towers. Now these towers require no digging, just a level space for construction. You'll need field fencing, 4 foot wide, straw, planting soil, and compost. Construct your towers with the field fencing so they are about 2 to 3 feet in diameter. Line the base with straw, add about a foot of soil along with your potatoes, and repeat until you reach the top. When it comes time to harvest, dig your hands in or simply topple the tower to reap what you have sown. Cons, towers may not do as well in dry or windy climates, but they are really quick to create, low maintenance, and allow for easy and really fun harvesting. Try planting purple potatoes to add a beautiful color to your plate. So if you just don't have the space, but you're still itching to start your own garden, you're in luck. Look into a community garden. These are public spaces where you can rent a plot of land. This is a great asset that most towns and nearly all urban areas have. So enlist your family, a friend, neighbor, or coworker and get to work. So we've highlighted the physical benefits of growing and eating your own food, but there are also great mental benefits. Cultivating a garden challenges us to learn something new. Our minds are capable of constant growth, so let's grow. Getting outside in nature and taking in the fresh air relieves stress and worry. Putting your hands in the dirt connects you to other living things, and it allows us to be a part of a cycle of life, a cycle not involving just us. In general, gardening is a great way to decompress as you take a break from your busy life, to trim, water, weed, and harvest. This time allows us to remain present and enjoy the small things in life. So let horticulture heal you inside and out. Are you feeling really motivated to start that garden of yours? Tune into our social media Fresh Finds campaign. The campaign kicks off this coming Monday, May 7th. You'll gain more information about fruits and vegetables you can grow, as well as a chance to win a gardening tool set and more. Okay, so our next slide is farmers markets. So farmers markets provide incredible access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Within the U.S., farmers markets date back to the early 1700s, and today they remain just as important to our nation's food system. Shopping at your farmers market provides great benefit to you and your family. Produce at our grocery stores are typically days old as packaging and shipping processes take time. At market, you'll notice that your produce is fresher and probably picked just that morning. And because of this, provides greater nutrient intake. Market also encourages more seasonal and local eating, which is really what our bodies are designed for. You'll also notice that these carefully cultivated fruits and vegetables are probably richer in color and texture, and that they taste better too. This is also a great place to buy seeds or starter plants for that garden of yours. Shopping at your market also provides incredible benefit to your community and your economy. Many vendors are within a 100-mile radius, and thus your money going to your local family farm stays within your 100-mile radius. The environment also benefits. Conserved fossil fuels, less waste in the form of carbon monoxide, minimal, if any, packaging materials, and typically less use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers. Markets also provide a great gathering space. Social connections can be made with your community. Not only will you run into family and friends, but you will also get face-to-face time with your food producers. So get to know your farmer and your food. Becoming a CSA member is another great opportunity to get your hands on local fresh fruits and vegetables. So what is it? CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. It is a system that connects you to a farm and farmer in your area. It provides you with a weekly, in-season box or bag of fruits and vegetables. If interested, hit the internet, or better yet, start networking at your market to see which producers are offering memberships. You'll get great exposure to new fruits and vegetables and thus new cooking techniques. So let's talk more about these cooking techniques. So your harvest is in. Whether your garden is booming, you just stocked up at market, or that weekly CSA we just discussed has arrived. Whatever the case, you have fruits and vegetables coming out of your ears. So what to do with it all? Friendly reminder, we need to be working towards 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit each and every day. So there should be no reason for any of it to go to waste. There's so many different and delicious ways to prepare fruits and vegetables. Have you ever really thought about all the ways? You can blend, boil, grill, mash, roast, saute, steam, spiralize, eat as is, and so much more. If you don't like a fruit or vegetable, you may just need to try a different method of preparation. For example, grilling is a great technique that caramelizes and adds a touch of smoke to whatever you're cooking. Vegetables like squash, eggplant, and asparagus grill up great. And for a sweet treat, try grilled pineapple and peaches. Try out fruit and vegetable kebabs. They are quick, simple, and convenient for cookouts of any size. Blending is another awesome technique, and smoothies are perfect for the upcoming summer months. Blending fruits like avocados and berries provide really great flavor and texture, and getting your serving of dark leafy greens such as kale, spinach, and Swiss chard has never tasted so good. Sauteing your vegetables can create a meal in itself. Cooking vegetables over medium heat for about 10 minutes tenderizes and gives your vegetables a golden brown color. Try sauteing vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, carrots, onions, and peppers. Add beef strips or a chicken breast on top for a healthy meal the whole family can enjoy. Another great and very popular method as of late is to spiralize your vegetables. Investing in a spiralizer allows you to turn everything from zucchini, cucumbers, beets, sweet potatoes, and carrots into a bed of noodles. You can cook or eat raw, add your favorite dressing or sauce, a protein if you like, and further vegetables atop for a complete and very colorful meal. I would really encourage you to get innovative. Add in or substitute fruits and vegetables whenever possible, whether it's adding berries to your morning oatmeal, a handful of spinach to your sandwich, carrots instead of chips, cucumbers instead of crackers. This list goes on and on, but you're getting closer and closer to that daily recommended intake. Making the most of your harvest. If you're faced with an excess of fruits and vegetables, try freezing and at-home canning. When freezing, aim to freeze produce at their peak and store in an airtight container or bag. It is a really good idea to blanch vegetables before freezing. This ensures that your nutrients can last for months to come. These fruits and vegetables become great additions to smoothies, soups, and stews. At-home canning is timely, but well worth the work. There are 2 specific canning techniques, water bath canning and pressure canning, and both require similar materials. You can enjoy your own jam, salsa, tomato sauce, condiments, and more. And better yet, you get a taste of your garden throughout the entire year. So let's jump into the kitchen and take a look at a few recipes using your fresh finds. So our first recipe is a simple kale salad. Is your mouth watering already? Okay, I know this dish doesn't sound all that tasty, but I promise you it is. I have converted non-kale lovers to kale lovers with this one. It's so versatile and so good for you. On top of it all, growing and harvesting kale is really easy. Your ingredients are 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1 teaspoon chili powder, half a teaspoon of sea salt, and 2 bunches of kale. So you're going to want to whisk together all the ingredients aside from the kale. Next, you'll de-stem the kale and chop finely. Simply add the kale to your dressing, tossing to combine, and serve. You can get so creative with this recipe, and that's why I love it. You can add in slivered almonds, toasted pumpkin seeds, freshly grated Parmesan, crumbled goat cheese, and fruits like pears and apples. Go savory or sweet with it. This recipe serves 4 to 6. Our next recipe is refreshing and great for when your tomato plants come in. I know I always have more than enough in my garden. So we are making an heirloom tomato gazpacho. You'll need a whole 2 pounds of ripe heirloom tomatoes, 1 cucumber, 1 small red onion, 1 green bell pepper, minced garlic, 1 jalapeno, 1 cup of cubed bread, red wine vinegar, lime juice, olive oil, cilantro, and salt and pepper to taste. All the produce in this dish are actually pretty easy to grow. So for preparation, simply combine all of these ingredients in a blender. You'll probably have to blend this in 2 or 3 batches, as it will probably not all fit in one. So blend all batches until smooth. Combine all the batches in a large bowl. Simply stir and refrigerate for a few hours while all these flavors come together. Serve chilled and have fun with the garnishings. You can add asparagus tops, basil, cilantro, or give it a sweet bite with strawberries and melon. This recipe serves 6. And our final recipe is light and great for a summer afternoon snack. We are making a hemp seed avocado fruit salad. So head on over to your hanging basket of strawberries and get them picked. You'll need 2 avocados, 3 yellow peaches, a whole pound of strawberries, and 2 tablespoons of raw hemp seeds. Simply chop your avocados, peaches, and strawberries into similar and bite-sized pieces. Sprinkle 1 tablespoon raw hemp seeds and carefully toss, allowing the seeds to coat the fruit. Sprinkle the remaining tablespoon on top, and you have yourself a refreshing treat. And this recipe serves 4 to 6 as well. So with summer almost here, I hope you're all excited to enjoy the fresh fruits and vegetables that are about to really come into season. Whether you're starting your garden, visiting your weekly farmer's market, or investing in that CSA, get creative and bring beautiful color to you and your family's plates.
All right, thank you so much, Steph. And guys, this is the perfect person to do this webinar because Steph actually practices what she preaches. It is hard to get your fruits and veggies in, but if you just take the time and find the good flavors and try something new, you're going to be able to find some really great ways to get those fruits and veggies in. So next, though, we'll talk about the coming up of other webinars, and then we'll get to some questions that you've got. Next month for June already is preparing for your Health Check 360 screening. We'll go over creating some healthy habits for the next screening coming up. And then in July, we will talk about living healthy on a budget, which I'm sure we can all find some tips for. So, and then we've got our contact information here when I get to the next slide. All right, so here's our contact information. You'll be able to watch this webinar on our blog as soon as we get it up here in the next day or two. You can contact us. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Facebook is where you're going to find the Fresh Finds campaign that Steph referenced. Lots of good tips, giveaways, like she said. So go to the Facebook page, like us, so you can get some of those good tips this month. And then, again, there's our blog, and then we're on Instagram as well. Or give us a call. Our phone number's on there. Or else you can email healthcoach@healthcheck360.com if anything else comes up that we can do for you. But with that, we will open it up for some questions here.